Hello, Sales Academy people. You followers, tweeters, everything social is, right? This one's a funny one. And I've got to come on and share this musing. And at the same time as it being a funny one, oh, it also kind of breaks my heart a little bit at the same time. But there's good reasons why. And I've got to share this because if you're in any one of these two camps, then we need a conversation, right? That's it, pure and simple. So today's musing is keep the green light on. Keep the green light on. So let me just take us all back, right? Take us all back to the biggest shift in working practices for 50 years, possibly more. The good old, and when I say good old, I don't mean that flippantly, and there were a lot of losses. So, but from a business world point of view, COVID made a huge difference to a lot of people, and it made a lot of difference to the way that we do business going forward. Some in a lot of cases for the better. Yes, there is separation. Yes, there is distance and all that sort of stuff. So there's changes to the social side of working that have also impacted negatively and difficult. But at the same time, the freedom and the flexibility that it's brought with us, the less or lack of travel, lack of commuting, that word flexibility is not to be underrated in terms of the change to working procedures, policies, and everything else. So there I was having a conversation with someone I know and I've known for many, many years recently. And the subject came on about working from home and how they get on with it and all that sort of stuff. And this person's obviously going to remain nameless. And when I explain what I'm going to explain, you'll understand why. But they may not be well, they're absolutely not the only one. They can't be the only one because it's an actual thing, what I'm about to share with you. So, and I was amazed. I couldn't at first, when something just goes, what? It was one of those moments. And then I go, I can kind of make sense of it. But then I go deeper and go, well, there's a deep rooted trust issues here, two-way, cultural, both ways between the company and you as an employee and you as an employee toward the company. Like it's not a done to thing here. There's a both doing it to each other thing going on. Anyway, so tell him what you're going to tell him, Ad. So my friend advised me that just generally in this conversation about working from home and stuff like that, there's a metric, one of the metrics that they are measured on in terms of working from home to obviously make sure that people are being productive. And he did use that word, productive, which is fascinating, is they are measured on the time that they are logged on. They are measured on the time that they are at their computer and active, right? And what that effectively means in different shapes and forms, in different software platforms and everything else, effectively, it means green light when you're active at your desktop and you're utilizing things. And it means red light if you're not. Now, it might not necessarily practically be a green light and a red light, depending on the software. You get the point, right? But it's basically green light on, you're active, you're working, you're doing what you're paid to do. Red light, you're skiving off. What's happening, right? You're not at your desktop. You get the point. So, I'm having this conversation just around this, and I was like, that seems a bit like draconian. That seems to me, that seems a bit like, and I understand it from a how do you measure productivity, but with so many different cultures, sorry, so many different companies, cultures, and just the working necessity and stuff in terms of what they do, the variety of work that's needed. Not all of it is at your laptop. I spend a lot of my time completely and utterly away from my laptop and know a lot of people in business in different roles, not just in my business now, but I always did. I did a lot of planning, did a lot of plotting. I'm in the car, so I'm not on my laptop all the time. But a work from home worker, one of the measures that has really kind of picked up in terms of conversations happening around performance and productivity, again, those two words which I find aren't what the company is about when they're administering this. I'm going to bring in a third P, which is it's more policing than it is performance and productivity, right? Because it's the way that it's being administered, the way that it's being dealt with, the way it's being received. It's all led to this point, which I found hilarious and troubling at the same time. And I didn't even know this product existed. So I don't even know what the product's called. So I'm going to describe it because if you want to go and find it, go fill your boots, right? If you need to go and find it, then you need to pick up the phone and have a conversation because I think we need to come and do some work in your organization without question. Um, So you can buy a thing on Amazon, right? And I'm going to call it, for the sake of this podcast, I'm going to call it an active pad, right? An active pad. But you can buy this item from Amazon and other retailers are available. And effectively, what it is it's a pad that you put your mouse on and you connect your mouse up to the computer and it's powered up. And effectively, this activity pad or active pad moves your mouse, which then sends a signal because the mouse is moving that you are at your laptop actively working because the mouse is moving. So it's kind of tricking the system. I don't know if you've ever heard this when people have a gastro band and then you hear them telling stories about, yeah, 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 I heated up the milk and then if I have an espresso beforehand, it opens things up so I can actually get more food in, or I just heated up some milk, popped a Mars bar in there, blended it and drank it. And it's like someone's not doing the work on what's going on behind the scenes, right? The gastro wasn't the issue, or the gastro band wasn't the issue. So this tool, this individual has got to the point where they feel they're being policed, and the way that they can do this, or they want to cheat the system, whatever it is, what they want to do is buy this pad, place their mouse on it, have it sat there. So when they're not working, they just place it on it. So it cheats the system. They go and do what they need to do. And in one sense, I go, that's genius. What a fantastic tool. But really, that's where we've got to, both from company culture and from individuals looking at what they are there to do, what we're paid to do, what we're doing. So my performance is mine, right? I've always had this attitude. My performance, my outcomes, my responsibility, nobody else's. Despite whether the marketing in the company is crap, despite whether the boss is a dick, despite whether I'm a dick, despite whatever the excuse or whatever the thing that could get in the way is, my results, my responsibility. Other things can contribute positively or negatively. My results, my responsibility. Take that into my sales remit. My mindset was like, if I'm going away for 2 weeks, I need to do my number this month, regardless of that. It's not me sitting there going, well, I can only do half of it because I'm only here for half of the month. It's my bonus that was affected, my commission. So the only person I'm hurting with that attitude was me. So why would I think like that? Why would I behave like that? So I didn't. But I was amazed how many people did. And you see this in so many company cultures, the whole them and us, the shop floor versus management, and all these kind of old stereotypes, which massively exist today. And you might have the best employee handbook, the best company policies. You might have fresh fruit on a Friday and dress down days and all sorts of stuff. But truly, are you looking after your people and are you looking after the performance of the business and the people? Because there are business needs and there are human needs, and there's a kind of harmony in the middle that we got to work toward, right? And the needles move. But if we're policing, if we are creating a culture of our metrics are actually driving the wrong behaviors, I'll give you a classic example in sales. A lot of people in sales, and I experience this, I've worked for organizations where your targets are heavy and you've got to hit a number to earn income that month. And if you don't hit that number, you're not living the life that you have. And let's just say that number is 10K just for ease. And if I got to 9,500 and I had 2 days left, could I sit down with my boss and go, is there any chance I could, I've done 9,500. I know it's close to 10. I know it's not quite 10, but is there any chance I could, I got a healthy pipeline for next month. Could I like borrow 500? Can I just carry it over? No. The black and white answer is it's 10K or you don't get a commission. And that's not uncommon, right? Thankfully, it should be less and less. But targeted environments, the question we've got to think about is that target driving the right behavior in me? Because if you were me sitting there, and if this was you, and you're sitting there going, I don't know if I can afford the food for the kids, cost of food these days, based on 500 quid, I challenge that anyone listening to this, you'd almost beg, steal, and borrow to get another client over the line in those 2 days just to get commission. You may even lie, cheat, steal to get that over the line. You will absolutely become that knobhead salesperson that we detest and that's given all of us a bad feeling and reputation about sales. And the targets are a contributing factor to that happening. Massive contributing factor. All right. So the metrics What behaviors are they driving? Short-term productivity, long-term productivity, performance. What does performance actually mean for your business? What does performance actually mean for your team? Is it outcome based? There's a brilliant YouTube TED talk with Ricardo Schemler, one of the best business leaders I think out there at the moment. And he's talking about if you're in sales, if you have a target and you've done your target by Tuesday, take the rest of the week off. Because if you keep going the rest of the week like you've done by Monday and Tuesday, we're going to need to build and buy a new manufacturing plant to administer the sales that you've done. So too many can actually cause us problems. Equally, not enough can cause us problems, right? But so are those targets and what you're focusing your business objectives, your team objectives, are they aligned with sensible objectives that can move everybody forward to move the business forward profitably without killing people in the process? Do you know what I mean? Let's just be sensible about this. So the fact that there's absolutely a cultural issue if having a metrics where if you're not at your desktop, you're not working because that's the belief in the identity. So there's a massive trust issue there. So if then the response to that is, yeah, well, I'll buy a system that cheats it, well, then there's behavioral issues there because the respect again, the trust isn't there too. So something's going wrong in this organization, but it's not being tackled. It's just been, yeah, that's fine. So I challenge that actually you're employing a lot of people with a huge amount of resource that aren't productive, and you either know it and you just accept it and go, yeah, well, that's just how it is. So we'll just put an extra percentage of people over the top to cover the fact that everyone is unproductive. Or you're totally, oh, and another option is you are aware, but you just don't know what to do about it. Another option is you're just totally blind. You are aware and you don't care. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. But what I'm saying to you is think about this logically. If you're accepting, if you're complicit with the fact that you have to put these kind of things in place, there is culturally and behaviorally issues within the business. That needs addressing if you want to rise up as a business with people to succeed. Black and white. And I am passionate as hell about that. And I will never stop beating that drum because your people are your best asset. Second to that are your processes and systems to make the machine work. All right. And then the training, support, recognition, ongoing support and accountability for everybody to do. It's like I know damn well that I am productive, but no more than an hour at a time. And so many humans I meet, it's not the same for everyone, but so many humans I meet, 45 minutes, squirrel, I'm off. So something I might sit down to take 3 hours to do, or it will block out in my day. I'm not going to work solidly for 3 hours. I'm not going to be productive in those 3 hours. Far from it. You'll probably get the same 45 minutes out of me over those 3 hours if I just allocated 1 hour and did 45 minutes and then 15 minutes change of state. And I would be more productive across the day in 45-minute blocks than those concentrated blocks. So I just don't understand how we think that performance is based on that sort of stuff, of really checking up and making sure that, well, from 8 o'clock till 5 o'clock, you're meant to be on the, so you have to, come on. It's got to be a better way, people. I'd love to hear your thoughts and ideas. Keep the green light on. No. Be a better human. Find out how productive you can be. Where's your time going? Do a basic ideal working week, right? Look at it this way: 24 hours in a day, 3 sets of 8. Work for 8, sleep for 8, leisure or waste 8. If you hear that, write that down: 24 hours and then 3 columns underneath: 8, 8, 8. Work 8, sleep 8, rest 8, right? Or waste 8. Now, if you're writing those numbers down and in your head, your little voice is just gone, yeah, I wish I slept for 8 hours. Okay, so how many hours are you sleeping? 4 hours. Okay, cool. So you've got a -4 in the sleep column, but you've got a +4 in the other 2 columns. Where's it going? That +4 has got to be distributed by the other two. So where's it going? Come on, guys. I know you got this. And if you want help with it, this is it, right? This is what we do. Peace out. Have a brilliant week. Catch you soon. Maybe chuckle, but also broke my heart at the same time. Keep the green light on. See you later.